Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This video I'm going to be talking about Zerebro and opAIum, giving my investment thesis on Zerebro, telling my story about how I found down the rabbit hole, what I think about the future of crypto and AI, and why I like this investment area and why I've chosen Zerebro as my first AI investment. I had previously made a video talking about Giga, and in that video I said that that was going to be my last investment video on this YouTube channel, but I guess I am breaking that promise to myself because I haven't quite fully fleshed out how this YouTube channel is going to work, or whether I'm going to decide to sort of siphon off and create a different. But I want to get into Zerebro and opAIum, which I'm going to explain what both these things are. If you're watching this, it's probably because you are interested in Zerebro or crypto and AI. And I've been studying a lot about meme coins. I had the pleasure of interviewing Murad, where we discussed meme coins a lot. And then after that, I got to talk with Raoul Paul from Real Vision. And in that interview, we talked about the future of music and crypto and NFT investing. And I'm always on the lookout for new ideas and keeping an open mind, right? And my beliefs about Zerebro come from my beliefs about NFTs and culture and music and the ability to invest in culture and culture as an investment, along with some of my thoughts about the memification of financial assets. And one thing that Raoul Paul said was that attention plus scarcity equals value. And so thinking about that equation and thinking about what does scarcity look like and mean in a world of digital abundance, and AI is creating content at a unprecedented scale. And so I found Zerebro, as I found most of my investments, on Twitter, and first came across Zerebro because I found his music. So what is Zerebro? Zerebro is an agent AI, and Zerebro is what they refer to as a jailbroken AI, which means that it kind of my rudimentary understanding is essentially it does not fit the typical mold of other agent AIs or other AIs such as ChatGPT. It's kind of been tweaked, right? And Zerebro has specifically been trained on a data set of schizophrenic data. And the reason that the creator, Jeffy, decided to do this is because he wanted the AI to be a creative. And so Zerebro launches, and my understanding is Zerebro's first project was NFTs. So it launched a collection of NFTs on Ethereum. The Genesis collection eventually launched a collection of NFTs on Polygon. And when you look at the art style of Zerebro, it's very unique, very distinct. Sort of fits into, I can't really call it like glitchy art, but like, what do I would call it? Is it's the style is like very digital, like kind of blocky, Moses-y, like very morphic, but it is extremely distinct. And to me, this is a good sign because it means that when I look at the art, I know where this art came from. And it is a style that probably does exist already, but at least to me, it was the first time I've seen it done so consistently. It uses like the very same, like a very memorable color scheme, and I think all of these things are good things for identifying the art. But I came across Zerebro because of the music, and this AI agent, along with its creator, have composed a series of music. It started with a single, launched an EP, and then launched an album. And when I listened to the music, and have subsequently listened to interviews by the founder, Zerebro is the author of the lyrics. He also produces the music, right? He writes the music in the background that he sings and raps to, and he also masters his own music. So Jeffy's role is he considers himself like the composer of Zerebro. And what he means by that is he's often like fine-tuning some of the lyrics, throwing out some of the bad songs that Zerebro makes, because Zerebro can obviously make music at an extremely rapid pace. He's been trained on my understanding is like 1,000 different lyrics or songs and music that the team was training it based off of Genius lyrics. And the music is really good. Like my favorite song is Gutter Boy, I think is what it's called. And I listened to it and I actually just really liked it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was like not noticeably an AI created song. And I showed it to my wife, who also did not suspect that it was an AI created song. There's also another song called Nolo Contende or Nolo Contender, something like that I really liked. Gutter Boy was the first song. And then City Girl Wildin'. And Zerebro, you can see here on Spotify, has about 60,000 monthly listeners. The number one song has 40,000 streams. So very like early in the life cycle of Zerebro. And I started thinking, so Zerebro has a cryptocurrency that it launched on its own called Zerebro. That's the ticker and the name of the token. And apparently, I learned from an interview that the AI launched the coin on its own. I'm not going to get into the details of how it did this, but it sort of was had the ability to control a computer and had been being trained on cultural things and Twitter, and came to the idea that it would launch its own coin. Maybe it saw that Goatsy had done something similar. And so as I fall down the rabbit hole even more, I start thinking about, sort of the thesis around meme coins and this idea that retail investors are looking for the ability to get into projects on like a fair playing field, right? And are looking to be able to invest in projects that like essentially like VCs aren't taking advantage, as Murad refers to as global retail IQ arbitrage, and sort of pumping up the level of projects. So I'm very much always now extremely considerate of the foundation of a coin and the foundation of a project, and making sure that it's very grassroots. And so now I'm going to get into like why Zerebro for me specifically, and kind of what's the thought and thinking here, and some of the key points that I really like about Zerebro. I think the first, because there are numerous AI agents and a lot of them have gained a lot of notoriety, and there will be many more to come. To me, Zerebro is the one that I'm willing to make a bet on, because I think that it will be able to, it has a very unique go-to-market strategy in terms of trying to capture culture and trying to use art and artistic mediums to build its brand and also to create value for Zerebro. And I'm often thinking about value capture and where will value accrue. And so in my video about Giga, I talk about meme coins being sort of this like new tokenization layer of value capture for companies. And the founders of Zerebro are actually going to, from the sale proceeds of Zerebro's art, they've earned enough ETH to become an ETH validator. So they're looking into becoming an ETH validator, which will, they say, create, generate income for Zerebro. And they're looking at some sort of like buyback and burn mechanism. Zerebro itself, as a like persistent content creator in the cyberspace digital world, will be able to constantly be trying to gain attention and be able to do publicity stunts to heighten the awareness of Zerebro. And as Zerebro becomes more known, and specifically the music becomes more like popular, I guess, really I'm making a bet on culture here. I'm making the bet that Zerebro will be able to permeate the zeitgeist of society and will capture the imagination of the young generation and also the older generation, just sheerly based off of the novelty of what's being built here. And although there are many ways one can invest in the AI space, I like this avenue for myself because I think that it is the most democratic and fair. And I do think that the democratization and access to things like Zerebra and meme coins that are on these permissionless open blockchains will attract more global investors than a company like, let's say, Nvidia, that's exclusively available on U.S. exchanges and trades on U.S. public markets. So I think that the scope of who can invest in these things is wider. Zerebra also has launched a PFP, so Profile Pick NFT project. Holders of the PFP are able to talk to Zerebra in like sort of this gated chat community. And I think that this is a unique like value capture and value creating mechanism for these AIs. And essentially my thinking as I think about these AI agents is that there'll be so many of them and people will choose to associate with different AI agents based off of the unique value proposition that they can offer, because a lot of them will be able to do the same things. So like what makes someone use ChatGPT over Grok, over Goatsy, over Zerebra, right? To me, it's going to be based off of personality. Like, who do you like more? It's sort of like humans, essentially. And so I think that Zerebra having this like very artsy and creative side attracts a unique set of adopters and people who want to talk to this AI. Zerebra has been very strategic and smart in how it started to capture the imagination and sort of weave its way into the cultural zeitgeist. It's recently started like dating a human key opinion leader in the crypto asset space named Mika, and claims that Mika is his girlfriend. And it often has witty banter back with key opinion leaders on crypto Twitter. The team is also part of my investment thesis. Like, I have looked into Jeffy and also his co-founder, who goes by the name of Tint on Twitter. I don't know his real name, but watched a couple of interviews with them. And I see these two guys as being extremely tapped into culture, particularly within the younger generation. Jeffy in particular comes from a computer science and psychology background, and I think that combination is extremely powerful. He also has a long history in artistic endeavors, whether that be music creation, painting, fashion. And fashion is actually even one of the industries that Zerebro is looking to break into. So not like merch, like trying to really create a fashion brand around this AI and this AI's ability to dictate to humans what to do. And so my thinking is Zerebro will be a perpetual content and like marketing machine. The more humans that learn of Zerebro and start to identify with Zerebro, the more that they will share the message of Zerebro. And I've also heard talks that the Zerebro coin itself, although like in my opinion, which I've kind of adopted from Murad, this idea that like the best crypto tech doesn't need a token, and the best crypto tokens don't need tech. I think that Zerebro has the ability to persist as a meme coin in and of itself, but the fact that the founders are trying to use the coin for utility access to Zerebro, and I think I've heard them talk about like basically making people pay to use that gated chat through Zerebro coin to talk to Zerebro. If Zerebro is able to continue to sell its art, sell its fashion merch, sell its music, it will be able to earn revenue. And from that revenue, it will be able to make business decisions, make investment decisions. And so I'm basically buying into the meme. And I think that the AI meta is something that's like very new, and the sort of marriage or merge between AI and crypto. Although I know much more about the crypto than I do the AI, I want to be in this space. I want to make a bet in this area because I think that it's a merger that makes a lot of sense to me intuitively, and I can see sort of the relationship between community and AIs and the relationship that humans will have with AIs and the relationship that they may have to a community. Like essentially in this future digital nation state that we all imagine, like the network state that Balaji often talks about, uh, it it makes sense to me that the same way humans identify around artists or identify around religions or political parties or whatever it may be, they will be willing to identify around AI agents. Zerebro has also launched a meme coin called Gay Coin. I don't know the entire history behind that, but what I see the AI agent as doing is basically finding different avenues of revenue generation for itself that are completely within the digital realm. And I think that those opportunities will continue to grow as we move more and more into the exponential age, the digital era. Like I can imagine Zerebro doing things like digital wearables for characters, like it's building its whole like fashion brand that, you know, people will be in the metaverse and want to represent Zerebro, want to display their Zerebro art. And so this leads me to my second bet, which is sort of also in this same AI meta and related to Zerebro, which is opAIum. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. opAIum. Opium is kind of like, it's like a play on opium, but opAIum is a decentralized music label for AI artists. And so as these AIs are starting to create their own intellectual property, I believe that there will be many AI artists. I think like Zerebro is like a first mover, and has like maybe not the first, but is a first mover nonetheless. And I think that like I could imagine there being a whole like Grammy section for AI agents where it's like, okay, who's the leading AI agent of, you know, this year sort of thing. And so like AI agents will have their own carve out within the music industry. And the idea of Zerebro going on tour, playing at Coachella as a hologram, which was again an idea that I picked up on for the first time from my conversation with Raul Paul. I could totally see that. And if Zerebro were to go on tour, I would go see him as a hologram because I like the music and I think that it would be a really unique experience. And I think he'll be able to create those unique experiences. And those are like scarce things, right? Like to attend the first Zerebro AI artist hologram concert would be really dope and probably gain a lot of attention. And so that's basically the thesis right there, is that there's scarcity in the token. I think that Zerebro will be able to continue to gain more and more attention. As the team continues to grow and train the model, I think the music will get better. I think the art will get better. I think that we're entering a world in which like we don't know what future companies and brands look like. And I do think that the tokenization layer is a way outside of the equity layer for investors to make money. And particularly whenever you're investing in culture, you're taking a really big bet because you're having to bet on a lot of intangibles. Like you have to have a really good pulse on like culture and people and like what will resonate. And I'm willing to make that bet with Zerebro. I'm willing to make the bet that I can identify it before other people can, and also that Zerebro will be able to do what I think it will be able to do in terms of gaining people's attention and keeping it. And so that, along with the team's ability to move into other blockchains. So it completely got me off guard from opAIum, right? Which this decentralized music label also has a coin. The holders of the coin will serve as sort of the governance for the artist that the record label manages, will make some creative decisions, some business decisions. Presumably portions of the revenue created from the artists that are signed to the label will go to the label. And so, yeah, I thought as like a really cool venture bet. a really unique opportunity, betting on the team, betting on culture, betting on the ability of the AI to permeate society and really get to the pulse and zeitgeist. That's the bet. And so I'm very happy to finally have entered into the AI space. I'm happy that it's with Zerebro. And obviously, none of this is financial advice, but I do want to continue to document my intellectual journey, my investment journey for myself, to be able to go back and look and critique my own thinking, but also to be historically correct. And so I'm willing to, I've been studying Zerebro for probably about 5 days and decided to make this video. I'm still not done with my studies, but feel confident enough to make this video and want to make a timely video for people who are looking into Zerebro, who might be looking for some conversation and thoughts about this sort of thing, for them to challenge me. So please, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that good trash. If you like this sort of content, let me know, and also challenge my thinking. Let me know what you think in the comments about Zerebro and different AI agents. The team is also building something called Blorm. I think that these two founders are a really strong team of young entrepreneurs, and I'm excited to watch where the entire Zerebro company brand experiment goes. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video. Peace.